Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss the topic as Playfair cipher. We've already discussed various symmetric techniques like monoalphabetic cipher technique, polyalphabetic cipher technique, Caesar cipher technique. We've also discussed Wigner cipher technique. Now all of these were symmetric encryption techniques and three of them were left. Yes, three of them: Playfair cipher technique, Hill cipher technique, and the last one-time padding technique. All these three will be covered today in this video. So I'll be starting with Playfair cipher technique. What do you mean by Playfair cipher technique? To be more precise, again, this is a symmetric encryption technique. Remember, it is symmetric encryption technique, and when we say symmetric, it means the key that is being used for decryption and encryption, it is same. So Playfair cipher also comes under symmetric encryption technique. Now, up till now, this is the best known multiple letter encryption cipher technique. Playfair cipher treats plain text as single unit and translates these units into cipher text. Now, entire plain text is not converted. The entire plain text is first converted into units, and then these units are converted further into cipher units. So try and understand, this is not the entire plain text being converted into entire cipher text. It is the first the plain text is taken and it is broken into units, and those units are then converted into cipher text. So Playfair cipher text is a unit conversion of plain text into cipher text. Now this is an algo, Playfair cipher algo. Is based on use of 5x5 matrix of letters. Now remember, this 5x5 matrix of letter is constructed using the keyword. Always remember, whenever there is a question or whenever you are asked about Playfair cipher, you need to discuss about the keyword. See, here the keyword is not the simple version as we discussed in Caesar cipher or in Wigner cipher. Here in Playfair cipher, the keyword is taken, and from the keyword a 5x5 matrix, a proper 5x5 matrix, always a 5x5 matrix is constructed. So remember, you will be given a keyword, and if you are supposed to explain Playfair cipher, you take a keyword and then construct a 5x5 matrix. Now today in this video, we are going to take the example of keyword as monarchy. I'm going to take keyword as monarchy. Okay. Now using this monarchy, using this keyword, I am going to further convert this into 5x5 matrix. Now before talking about what this matrix is all about, we'll be first discussing how we construct this matrix. Now constructing this matrix, okay, we'll be filling the places first by all the letters of the keywords: M, O, N, A, R, C, H, Y. This is how you fill it. First, fill all the letters of the keyword in this matrix. See, this is a 5x matrix. 5 cross 5 matrix means we'll be having 25 values, right? So the first few cells will be first covered by the keyword which are given here. And remember, if it has a repetition of a letter, remember if the keyword has a repetition of a letter, if the keyword has repetition of a letter, you have to write only once. You do not have to repeat it here in this matrix. You have to write that letter only once in the matrix. Okay. Now, after this, the remaining cells will be filled by the remaining letters that are left out. See, A is here in this monarchy, but B is missing. We'll be writing B. Then C is here. Yes, you can see C. C is here. So you do not need to write C. But D is not there. Write D. E, is E there? No, E is also not there. Is F there? No, F is not there. G, H is there, right? H is there. One more thing I would like to tell you, I and J are treated as single unit and mentioned only once in the matrix. Always remember, I and J are treated as single unit and mentioned inside the one cell. See, the logic behind it is, somebody would ask why do we treat I and J as same? Because 5 cross 5 matrix, right? So only 25 places are there and we have 26 alphabets. We have 26 alphabets. So that means there's one alphabet which will be treated as the same as other. So we are going to take I and J as same. Some people might have doubt, what if we have I in the keyword? If you have I in the keyword, remember J is also with it. If you have I in the keyword, wherever you have I, along with I, you also write J, because I and J are always treated as one in this matrix. Okay, whether it is there in the keyword or whether it is not there in the keyword. See, so in our case it is not there in the keyword and we are considering I and J both are as same unit. Okay, after I and J we have K, since it is not there in the keyword. L, M is there in the keyword, N is there in the keyword, O is there in the keyword, then there's P which is not there, there's Q which is not there, S not there, T not there, U not there, V not there, W not there, X not there, Y is here. Yes, there's Y here, so straight away going to Z. So this is how you create a matrix from a keyword. Any doubt? Any doubt, class? Okay. So this is the method that you can use for any keyword. What you have to do is, you have to write first all the alphabets of the keyword in the matrix and then start writing the rest left out letters according to the alphabetical order in the matrix. Since A was there, we didn't write it. Since B was already, since A was there, we didn't write it. Then we started writing by B. Then C was already there. We left that alphabet. Then D, E, F, G. Remember, I and J will always be treated as the same single unit. If it is there in the keyword, there also I and J both will be covered. Even if J is there, I will be covered. If I is there, J will be covered. If I and J both are there, only once it will be written. Okay, can we move ahead? Okay, so the first step, that was creating the 5 cross 5 matrix, is now over. Now after creating the matrix, what you do is you start encrypting the text. You start encrypting the plain text. So let's take a plain text here. Okay, I'm going to take a plain text. For suppose balloon. Now this is my plain text, and now the first rule, the first step is, that is, you have to create the keyword. The second step, that is, you have to start pairing up the plain text. Whatever plain text that you're given, here in our case we are given the plain text as balloon. So the second step is to start pairing the plain text. What you need to do is you need to pair them. Since there is no pair, I'll tell you what is to be done. So you need to pair the entire plain text. Now remember, one single pair should not have repetitive alphabets. The one single pair should not have the repetitive alphabets. So BA is not repetitive, but LL is repetitive, OO is repetitive, and this should not happen. This should not happen. So what is done? In this case, we separate the pairs by the filler letters, and often the filler letter that is used is X. So how do you use X? BA is one pair, which has no issue. Now LL cannot be a pair, so we will separate it by writing X. And after that we have LO, so no issue. This is not same, so no issue, right? See, once you separate L by X, you write LX. After that you have L and O, and these are not common, so these can form a pair. Good. And then we have O and N, and since these are not common, we can form pair for O and N too. So this is how you form pairs. Asha, one more doubt you can have is, what if a single letter is left at the end? Again, you can use fillers. You can use fillers for pairing them up. You need to pair them up. This is a compulsory step that has to be performed. Okay, so this was the first step. This was the second step, maybe. Talking about the third step. Now after pairing them up, we'll be then seeing where does these pair of letters fall in the 5x5 matrix. So there are three possible conditions. First condition is that both the alphabets in the pair fall in the same row. This is one condition. The second condition is both the pairs fall in the same column. And the third condition is both the alphabets in the pair fall in different row and different column. So we need to discuss what needs to be done for all the three cases. Start by discussing the first case, same row. Now B and A. Please search for B and A. Where are they? They are in the same row, same column, sorry. B and A here in this 5x5 matrix fall in the same column. So this is the second condition. Now second condition says, if two alphabets fall in the same column, then the letter has to be replaced by the letter beneath it. That is, see B. B is here. Now letter beneath it is I. So you have to replace B by I or J. You can replace B by I or J. So I. And then C for A. A. Letter beneath it is B. So replacing A by B. So the plain text BA is now converted into IB. This is the ciphertext. Or JB. Or JB. No issues. Okay. Then see the next pair, LX. L and X. Now L and X. L lies completely in the different row. X lies in the completely in the different row. L lies completely in the different column, and X lies completely in the different column. Now what has to be done in this case? Now this case is each plain letter in a pair here is replaced by the letter that lies its in own row and column occupied by the other plain text letter. That is, to be more precise, L and X. Now you need to convert them into ciphertext L and X. So L has to be replaced by the letter in its own row. L has to be replaced by the letter in its own row and the column of the other plain text, which is X here. So X column is this and L's row is this. So L will be replaced by S. Okay, talking about X. X again, X has to be replaced by the letter in its own row and the column of the other plain text, that is L. So X will be replaced by U here. I hope you can understand. Again, let's see LO. LO. L is here and O is here. Both fall in different row and different column, right? Both fall in different row and different column. L and O. When you convert this, okay. If you replace L, how will you replace L? You will be finding out the alphabet in its own row and the column of the other plain text and the column of the other plain text in its own row and the column of the other plain text, which is P. L will be replaced by P. Talking about Q. Talking about O. This is O. I'm sorry. O. So O is here. So it will be replaced by the letter in its own row and the column of the other plain text, which is L. So it will be replaced by M. Any issues still here? I hope you do not have any issues. Okay, moving ahead as ON. O and N. So see where O and N are there. O and N fall in the same row. Now if this is the case, if two letters in the same pair fall in the same row, then what is done? Then it is replaced by the letter that is next to it. Okay, again I will repeat. Two plain texts that fall in the same row of a matrix are each replaced by the letter to the right with the first element of the row. Okay, one more thing. Let me first finish this. O and N. O by the letter which is present next to it, which is N. So O will be replaced by N and N will be replaced by A. Now, all these three conditions also have another chance. What is the chance? Okay. Let's not talk about balloon now. For example, in the same row, maybe A and R, this is the plain text which is in the same row, right? And if this has to be replaced, A will be replaced by R, no issues. and then R will be circularly replaced by M. Remember this. Okay. Same row. If A and R are the plain text. If this has to be converted, what will be done? A will be replaced by R, and R will be circularly replaced by the first letter in the row, which is M. Therefore, completing the entire standard rule says two plain texts that fall in the same row of the matrix are each replaced by the letter to the right with the first element of the row circularly following the last. Okay. Moving on to the same column. For same column, maybe we have the two letters L and U. This is the plain text. And if this has to be converted into ciphertext, what will be done? L by the letter beneath it, which is U, and U by the letter which is beneath it. We do not have any letter beneath U. What we'll be doing is, we'll be circularly following the first letter of the column, which is M. So the standard rule says two plain text letters that fall in the same column are each replaced by the letter beneath with the top element of the column circularly following the last. Okay, so this is it. I'm done with it. I'm done with the three rules here. And so if I have to tell you, entire word balloon is converted. It is converted how? So it is converted as IB or JB, anything you can write. IB, then we had LX, which is SU, then we had LO, which is PM, and then we had ON, which is NA. So this is the ciphertext of this plain text. So this is the entire procedure for the Playfair cipher. Remember what you have to do. You have to first construct a 5x5 matrix from the given keyword. Given keyword could be anything. After converting into 5x5 matrix, you then have to pair up the plain text. After pairing it up, you have to find out whether they fall in the same row, same column, or different row, different column, and then you have to go by the rule that says same row. You have to replace it by the letter left to it, right to it, and column letter beneath it, and different row, different column. You have to replace it by the letter that lies its own row and column occupied by the other plain text letter. This is all about Playfair cipher. We'll be moving ahead to the second technique, which is Hill cipher. Okay, Hill cipher is again a polyalphabetic substitution cipher technique. It is based on linear algebra. Always remember, it was based on linear algebra. It was invented by Lester S. Hill. So the name comes from this person who actually invented Hill cipher technique. So the encryption algorithm here takes n successive plain text letters and substitute them into M cipher letters. Always remember that this is also a unit by unit conversion of plain text into ciphertext. Here also we'll be breaking the plain text into certain units and then converting these units into certain ciphertext. So I've also written the example which you can see here. This is the ciphertext. This is the matrix. This is the key matrix. This is the key matrix. And then we have the plain text. And then we're performing mod 26. We're performing mod 26 only because we need a circular value from 0 to 25. Okay, so this can also be generalized. This formula can be generalized as C is equal to Kp mod 26. Now C here is cipher matrix. I'll be illustrating what matrix here means. Just understand C is for cipher matrix, K is for keyword matrix, P is for plain text matrix, and mod 26 is done because we want value between 0 to 25. P here is plain text matrix, K here is inverse matrix of the keyword, C is the cipher matrix, and mod 26. Okay, so let me illustrate this by an example. I'll be illustrating this Hill cipher by an example. Let's take an example as I'll be taking plain text here as SHOR. This is the plain text. Keyword here is given as hill. Okay, keyword here is given as hill. Now the first step is, always remember these techniques are done by step. So the first step is to convert the keyword into a matrix. Hill cipher is a matrix based conversion technique. So the first step is to convert the keyword into matrix. Sometimes you will be getting keyword automatically in the form of matrix in the exam, and sometimes you will be given as words. So these words have to be converted into matrix. So converting the keyword into matrix, this is how you're going to convert. HILL. I converted my keyword into matrix, and then the second thing which I'll be doing is I'll be converting the letter matrix, this letter matrix, into the number which is held by the positions of the alphabet. So what are the numbers that are held by the letters? HILL. If you remember, we have discussed this alphabetical value. So H has the number value 7, I has the number value 8, and L has the number value 11. So I'll be writing down this letter matrix into the number matrix. This is how I'll be writing this into number matrix. Okay. Now, after converting my keyword into matrix and then into number matrix, third step, remember, sometimes in exams you're directly given this number matrix, so you can skip this these two steps. You can straight away start from here. Now, after doing this, what you'll be doing is, please observe your matrix. If your matrix is of 2 cross 2 form, then you have to split your plain text into pairs. If your matrix is of 3 cross 3, if the keyword that you have is forms a matrix of 3 cross 3, then you have to split your plain text into units of 3 alphabets. Always remember, it is going to be a square matrix. Either it is going to be 2 cross 2. Keyword always will be a square matrix. If it is not a square matrix, it is if keyword does not form a square matrix, it cannot be a Hill cipher technology. Okay, so moving ahead, we will be splitting the plain text. Since we have 2 cross 2 matrix here, we'll be splitting my plain text into pairs. S and H and O and R. Okay. After this, we'll be converting my alphabet matrix into number matrix, the numerical value of S is 18 and the numerical value of H we've already seen, which is 7. The numerical value of O is 14 and the numerical value of R is 17. How we are doing this? We are just doing this by giving A as 0, B as 1, 2 as B as 2, A as 0, B as 1, C as 2, D as 3. Okay, this is how we've given number values to all the alphabets till Z, and Z is by number 25. Okay, so this is how I am writing down my number matrix. After doing this, I know the formula. My formula is C is equal to KP mod 26. If I need to convert the plain text into cipher text, I'll be using this formula. So this formula says C is equal to K. So my K is 7, 8, 11, 11. And my P is 18, 7. I'll be doing this pair by pair. I'll be picking one pair and converting them into ciphertext, then picking the second pair and converting that into ciphertext. So I'll be picking up first the 18 and 7 pair, S and H, and converting this as ciphertext. So this will be giving me, if you multiply these two matrices, you will be getting the value as 182 and 275, and then performing mod 26. Mod 26 is 182 divided by 26. What remainder do you get? So the answer is you get 0 as remainder, and then when you divide 275 by 26, you get 15 as remainder. This is the first matrix that you're getting, 0 and 15. Now when you find out the alphabetical values for 0, 0 is A, 15 is P. Therefore S and H, which was plain text, is now converted into ciphertext A and P. Okay. The second one, again I will perform the second one also. The second cipher text, 7, 8, 11, 11 divided by O and R. O and R will be written as 14 and 7, mod 26. Now when you perform mod 26 here, it will give you the value as, the complete value as 0 and 3, and 0 is written by A and 3 is written by D, this way. So when you convert O and R into ciphertext, this is the value that you get by using Hill cipher. So this is the encryption technique. And how do you decrypt it? How do you decrypt it? Simple. See, the decryption formula is given here. This is encryption formula, and this is decryption formula. Decryption formula says you first need to find out the inverse of the keyword matrix. This is the keyword matrix. Find out the inverse of this keyword matrix, and after finding out the inverse of the keyword matrix, you know what is your ciphertext. One is AP, other is AD. So you will be doing this also unit by unit. You will be first picking up AP pair, then converting it into plain text, and then picking up AD and then converting it into plain text. So if you have to find out the inverse, key inverse matrix, this in matrix inverse, it has to be found out by, see, there are different rules in matrices, and all of you have already studied. I'll be just briefing that how do you find out K inverse. You find out K inverse by finding out D inverse into adjacent of K. Okay, so this is how you find out K inverse. In our case, the value of K inverse is 25, 22, 1 and 23. Please let me know in case you have doubt in finding out inverse of matrices. I'll be making another video for this if you have a problem in this area. So this is how you find out inverse. After finding out inverse, please multiply it by AP and perform mod 26 to it, and then you will be finding that the first answer will be SH, and then perform it with AD, and then you'll be finding out that the answer is OR. So this is all about Hill cipher. Third cipher technique is one-time padding technique. Now one-time padding technique is a conversion of plain text into ciphertext, and it is definitely symmetric since we are discussing the symmetric technique. This scheme was first suggested by Joseph. Joseph first suggested the use of random key. It emphasized on using the randomness of key, because the more the key is random, the lesser you can guess the ciphertext. The lesser you can guess the plain text from the ciphertext, right? So randomness of the key was focused by Joseph, scientist Joseph. Now Joseph suggested that the use of random key is to be taken as long as the message. This key is used for encrypting and decrypting the single message. Now see how we do it. Let's go through the example and then understand the entire theory of the one-time padding. Now plain text, we're taking plain text as how are you, and we're taking random keywords. Now in exam, if you're asked to convert a plain text into ciphertext using one-time padding, you will be given keyword, and these keywords will be random, chosen randomly. NCBT, ZQ, ARX. I have also written this as random. Okay, after doing this, what we'll be doing is we'll then be performing one-time padding. How we'll be doing it? See, first of all, find out the values, the alphabetical values for how are you. Numerical values for alphabetical values. For H we have 7, and for O we have 14. For W we have 22. For A we have 0, no doubt at all. 17 for R. E is for 4. Y is for 24. O is for 14 and U is for 20. Similarly, NCB also 13. C is for 2. B is for 1. T is for 19. Z is for 25. No issues. Q is for 16. A is for 0. R is for 17. And X is for 23. What we'll be doing is we'll be then summing them up. 7 and 13 will give me what? Give me 20. 14 and 2 will give me 16. 22 and 1 will give me 23. 19 and 0 will give me 19 itself. 25 and 17 will give me 42. And E and Q, that is 4 and 16 will give me 20, 24 and 0 will give me 24, 17 and 24 will be giving me 31, and after this 20 and 23 will be giving me 43. This is the sum value. After performing sum value, you will be doing what? You will be doing mod 26 to it. Simple, mod 26 to it. Okay. So 20 mod 26 will give me 20 itself. So the value will be u. So the first value is u. After performing then 16 mod 26 will be 16 itself, the value will be q. Then 23 mod 26 will be 23 itself, the value with the alphabetical value for 23 is x. Please see from here, 23 x. After this we have 19. So the alphabetical 19 mod 26 will give me 19. So alphabetical value of 19 is t. Okay, t. Then 42. Then we have 42. When we perform 42 mod 26, when you perform 42 mod 26, you will be getting 16 remainder. 16 as remainder, and the value for 16 is q. And then we have 20. 20 mod 26 is 20 itself, that is u again. And then we have 24. 24 mod 26 is again 24, then which is by. Then we have 31. 31 mod 26. 31 mod 26 will give me remainder as 5. And 5, the value for 5 is f. Again moving ahead as 43. 43 mod 26 will give me the values, remainder value as 17. If you find out by calculator, it will be 17, and the value for 17 is r. So this is the conversion. So basically what we're doing is we are summing up plain text plus the key and then doing mod 26 to it, and then we're getting ciphertext. This is the formula. So I hope you can easily understand one-time padding. Very simple. It enforces randomness. Always remember, it enforces randomness for keys. Thank you, class.